Hi everyone, I'm Jim and welcome to review of Theli, the 5th studio record by the band Therion. Today we're celebrating the 30th anniversary of the release. Decided to go back and see if it still holds up or not. I've already reviewed their first 4 records, so go check those videos out, especially the Opus Eclipse, which is my favorite album of theirs. My story with this band is quite simple. My sister showed me their music when I was like 3 or 4 years old and I've been their fan ever since. I was actually there when Secrets of the Runes was released, the movie, Series B, Gothic Kabbalah, all of that stuff. The lineup on Theli is Christopher Johnson on vocals, guitars and keyboards, the mastermind behind this project. Piotr Wawrzeniuk on drums and vocals. This is his last release with the band, but later he would show up as a guest vocalist here and there. Lars Rosenberg on the bass. Him and Piotr started a band called Serpent at the same time as Theli was being released. And Jonas Melberg, I'm hopefully pronouncing that correctly, on guitar, acoustic guitars and keyboards. We also have guests like Dan Swano, a famous music producer, Jan Peter Genker on grand piano keyboards, and Gottfried Koch also on keyboards and programming. We also have 2 choirs, the North German one and Siren choir, used in the song The Siren of the Woods. I am not going to focus on the cover art, you can see how it looks with your own eyes. The production is tight, it's clean but heavy, no no clipping, just the way I like it. It has an old school vibe to it, which I do enjoy a lot. Message is diverse, the songs are mostly about occultic stuff, dragons, mysticism, magic, etc. I urge you to read the lyrics by yourself if you're interested in that. Structure of the songs is between basic and advanced. Usually we've got an intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge, which is from 2 to 7 different segments, then verse, pre-chorus, chorus, a change in the music style, 1 to 2 segments, and then the outro, that's it. When it comes to the music genre, this record is a slight departure of the previous releases. The first 2 ones were death metal with some slight symphonic elements. Then on the 3rd and 4th releases, Therion added to their death metal and symphonic music doom metal influences and heavy metal ones. Here they mostly focus on just symphonic metal music. There are still some elements of death metal, doom metal, heavy metal around, but they are not as prominent as they were previously. It's probably one of the reasons why this record became such a success, because it's way more accessible compared to the previous ones. Now let's talk about the musicianship. Let's start with the band's drummer, Piotr Wawrzeniuk. He's straight up killing it. I love his leg work, the grooves, the style, the precision of his playing, the double bass work here and there, it's genius. Next we've got Lars on the bass, and the bass is audible. He sometimes follows the guitars and sometimes he goes off his own, and that's pretty commendable. Then we've got all of the symphonic elements in the background, which enrich the sound of the music and make it stand out from the rest, even to this very day. Then we've got the guitar work by Christopher and the other dude, and it's pretty flawless. I love the crunchy, heavy, groovy guitar riffs mixed with those more faster tremolo ones. Some atmospheric guitar work here and there, and the beautiful lead guitar work and the guitar solos that occur here and there and are very melodic and memorable. These are the highlights of the music for me. Last but not least, let's talk about the vocals. Let's start with the choirs. They do their job. We have some female vocals, some male vocals. They do fit the band's music, nothing wrong with that stuff. Then we've got the vocals by Christopher, the leader of the band. He's growling, shouting, yelling, screaming, and it's all on point. This was his last record on the vocals until the 2004's Lemuria. My opinion is that he shouldn't have had left the vocal booth. I did always enjoy his vocals, especially on Opus Eclipse. I wish he would continue that vocal style, but instead he only used it on Opus Eclipse and one of his side projects, like Messiah I think was the band's name. Besides his vocals and the choir, we also have Piotr Wawrzeniuk doing some fantastic singing here and there. He has one-of-a-kind vocals that you cannot just mistake for anybody else. They are mostly prominent in the Desert of Set, Nightside of Eden, Babylon. He sounds fantastic. Now we can finally rate the individual songs. The album opens up with Preludium. This is an intro with some choir vocals in the background. It's one of the weaker songs here, but it does its job. It just opens the album, 6 out of 10. Mega Therion is one of the highlights of this release, the most recognizable song from this band, and for a reason. I love the intro alone. Fantastic vocal performance from anyone. Desire, the sunshine. The guitar riffs, the bass lines, the drumming, the fantastic changes in the middle. This one is a classic, even if it's a little bit too long for me. 10 minus out of 10. Cults of the Shadow, this one is even better. I love the bass at the beginning. All of that stuff, it's wonderful. I have nothing to complain about here, every single section is flawless, 10 out of 10. In the Desert of Set is my favorite song of this release, and in my top 10 Therion songs. I just love the atmosphere of this one, it's very magical and ancient Egyptian sounding. That main melody, wow, wow, wow. That main lead guitar work is just so flawless and fun to listen to. The choir, Piotr Wawrzeniuk, just everyone. You have to experience this song at least once in your lifetime. 11 out of 10. Interludium is just an interlude, but I do love it. I don't remember if it has any vocals or not, maybe some choir in the background, maybe. But it's just flawless, it's fun, it's short, 10 out of 10. Nightside of Eden, on the other hand, is a little bit too long for me. I think it's over 7 minutes long. Please cut out at least 1 minute of that. This one for sure has more darker atmosphere compared to the previous songs, but it's still fun. I love Piotr's vocals and everyone just giving their best. My fourth least favorite song here, but still a highlight nonetheless, 9 out of 10. Opus Eclipse, this one has a fantastic main melodies on the guitars, the drums, just everything. The choir is also straight up killing it. What a fantastic track. Highlight for sure as well, 10 out of 10. Invocation of Nama, this one has fantastic bassline in the beginning. At least I hope it's a bassline. This track is probably the most brutal one on the release. It has lots of blast beat and double bass work when it comes to the drumming, very fast main guitar riff. Still, I think that some of the parts linger a little bit too long, they're too slow for me, but the faster ones are great. So this is a great track, just not the best one here, 8 out of 10. Next we've got the longest song on the release, the Siren of the Woods, and this one, well, it's a single. It became an instant hit, and I don't know why. It's very boring and just stale sounding. Too long, obnoxious. It reminds me of the song from the next album, Woven, called Clavicula Nox, which was also like, please get that away from me. The Siren of the Woods might be actually the first Therion song I did not enjoy if we're going through their discography chronologically. It's the first one that I was like, And as we go through Therion's discography, we're going to notice more and more songs similar to this one, which is not a good thing, 4 out of 10. And the final track, Grand Final, Postludium, this one is one of the highlights for me. It's the second best song here. I just love the choir, the main melody, how positive and victorious it sounds like, but without any abrasive or puppy atmosphere. It reminds me of Heroes of Might and Magic 2 video game, which is hilarious because the game came out after this album. 10 plus out of 10. Now I want to talk about Babylon, which is a B-side found on the Siren of the Woods single. For some reason it wasn't a part of the Arab compilation from 1997. Why? I have no clue. If you are making a compilation of your B-sides, you should include all of them. But I guess the reason for that was Christopher's massive ego. That's my only idea for this? Because Babylon is a song he did not write at all, it was the other members. This actually sounds like their side project Serpent, which released 3 records, go check them out. I love every single section of this song, Piotr's vocals are on fire, that main cool doomy guitar riff, do doom doom do doom doom do do doom doom do do bow bow bow. Babylon. 10 plus out of 10. To sum it up, the consistency is various, the flow is fitting, repetitivity. Yeah, this is an excellent release. I can tell why it became a success. It's fun to listen to. The only song I don't enjoy is the Siren of the Woods. Everything else is on fire. It's just straight up amazing. The highlights for me are In the Desert of Seth, Grand Final, Babylon, To Mega Therion, Codes of the Shadow, Interludium, Opus Eclipse and Nightside of Eden. The only thing I would change about this release would be to remove the Siren of the Woods and put Babylon instead. Because Babylon is just a fantastic song that not many people know about, and the Siren of the Woods sounds eh. Besides that, this was a fantastic record. Sadly, all of the band members except Christopher left the band after it, which sucks ass because they're very talented and I wish we could hear more of them with him and Therion. I appreciate this release even if I'm supposed to hate it because it sounds nothing like my favorite Therion album, which is the previous one, Alpaca Cliff-Off. But it's still a fine piece of music. Celebrate Mercy by spinning it today, it deserves your attention. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe, follow me on my Instagram in the description, shout out to my Patreon supporters who guys sponsor these videos, you can also join them if you want, I can make you an album review, do me the cover video of your choice. I think last year I've doomified Invocation of Nam, so you can check it out on my YouTube channel, and I will see you next time. Remember, the dragons are watching over you. Bye.